Destiny 2 is a game that has had a long history of ups and downs. Lately, many longtime players have been quitting due to dissatisfaction with the state of the game. This begs the question, is it even worth starting as a new player? I've seen well-established D2 YouTubers who have put thousands upon thousands of hours into the game attempt to answer this question. But they kept saying, imagine being a new light. Well, I didn't want to. Not to mention, the D2 community can be a little critical. Just a little. Having played less than 200 hours, I was only just figuring out how to really play the game. I rounded up some of my friends who had never played Destiny, or it had been long enough they might as well have been a new light, so we all started new characters and loaded in. I never expected to be able to set up our fire team right away. There were some introductory missions and tutorials that needed to be played through first. But we were 30 minutes into the game before I could join my friends, because that part of the UI was blocked. Trying to adjust the fireteam privacy wasn't very intuitive, resulting in blueberries accidentally joining us once in a while. The tutorial for the menus came too late. Before we had played far enough to make our fire team, the servers disconnected and my friends were sent to orbit. They had no idea what menu they were looking at or how to get back. The struggles with navigation weren't exclusive to the UI.
I think I soft locked myself.
Analyzing.
There's
I've got a
Never
source
mind.
for the interference. Let's check it out.
Nope, I soft locked myself.
How in the world did you soft lock yourself?
Never mind, I got out of it. Wait, no, I'm still trapped. Wait, no, I'm not. Wait, yes, I am. I think I'm in a place in the environment where I'm not supposed to be.
The white diamonds leading us to our objectives weren't always the easiest to follow, but once we got together, navigating the maps got easier since I knew where we were going. Once navigation wasn't as much of a concern, we had the chance to start experiencing the gameplay. Right away, my friends felt like our firepower was lacking. The rocket launcher was underwhelming. The ammo reserves for the sniper rifle felt insufficient. And the fusion rifle was just disappointing. These are not good first impressions for special ammo weapons, and don't really encourage the player to wait around for the good ones. The difference between kinetic and energy weapons led to some confusion as well.
Oh, now I've got a shotgun that's telling me it's an energy weapon, except it looks and functions exactly like a shotgun.
The difference was never explained, and as a new player, I initially thought energy weapons all took special ammo, but that's not the case. My next theory was that energy weapons had damage types, but that doesn't always work either. The grenades helped make up for the lack of damage output, but the cooldown took forever. Starting my character over, I realized just how bad all the starting stats are. I couldn't tank a lot of hits, and my movement was slow. In 2 hours, each of us only got 1 or 2 pieces of armor, leaving us stuck with poor stats and long ability cooldowns. While looking for enemies to test our new gear on, we stumbled across a public event. Despite my attempts to ignore them, my friends insisted on doing every single one. The concentration of enemies was higher than in the campaign missions, actually giving all 3 of us something to shoot at. Activating heroic events provided us with elite enemies, which we had yet to encounter in our missions. On our last public event, we had our first team wipe, but not without putting up a fight. All of the different mission types weren't explained very well. New players are introduced to campaign missions, public events, patrols, bounties, and guardian rank ups. Players are expected to discover public events by accepting a bounty from Shah Han. The same is true for patrols, and later discovering a lost sector is one of the guardian rank up missions. Achieving guardian rank 2 just kind of happens, while reaching Guardian rank 3 is much more hands-off, leaving the player to suddenly figure things out on their own.
I was expecting better last words.
Since the season of the Witch Queen, a new cutscene at the beginning does a much better job at introducing new players to the story of the Destiny universe. However, this doesn't cover all the holes.
Oh, I forgot they did that. Does that mean they just deleted all his freaking cutscenes? That's dumb. My ghost was talking about Cade 6.
Oh, yeah.
So they just up and deleted all his freaking cutscenes? It's just he doesn't exist anymore other than, yeah, he died. Sorry about that.
There is a campaign now that takes you through some timeline missions and helps explain some of that better, but those aren't until after the Guardian Rises campaign, so new players are still left in the dark for quite some time. When advancing Guardian ranks, there's a memorial for Cade 6 that says some random lines that have no significance to new players.
Huh. I was expecting better last words.
We attempted to log in and play through the first strike for a quick game night, but the servers had other ideas. Unfortunately, my friends were presented with the perfect opportunity to grow well acquainted with another one of D2's infamous problems.
Yeah.
We tried and tried to log on and load into a mission with little success. We made our own fun, discussing improvements we might like to
Sitting
see.
in the screen, we should be able to play with the spaceship more than we can right now.
Yeah.
Like, it would be so cool to just go like,
And time looking at the weapons.
it's got a laser on it, not that it ever gets used, so good for that at least. And I really don't know what that is. Is that supposed to be like a suppressor, or like one of the worst Russian muscle devices I've ever seen? But it's literally an AR, and I kind of like it. So it would really suck if that's the only one that looks like that.
That is the only one that looks that way.
Which sucks.
Like,
Especially because, like, it even says, perhaps it's been waiting for you. It's like, yeah, I want to use it. I can't upgrade it or anything.
no, unfortunately. Otherwise, I probably would have kept it longer than I did. We were all fortunate to be trying to play together because, had they been starting on their own, this was their second time logging on, they probably would have been done right then and there.
What you learned from playing Density? Well, I got through all of War and Peace in the time that it took us to play a level.
When we could finally log on, I showed my friends around, helping them rank up, exploring the Destiny universe, and simply finding things to use our gear on. The better the
Hold
loot.
on a second. This tells me there's no special ammo, but I thought it's in my primary slot, I thought. And now my revolver has like infinite ammo.
Yes, your revolver always has
But it's
infinite
in, like,
ammo.
I thought, is this in? But I thought this was in my energy slot.
I was thrilled! For all the things that had been so difficult to learn, he had begun to embrace the Titan nature and discovered the classic Titan loadout all on his own. While my friends might decide not to keep playing Destiny 2, we enjoyed the time that we spent playing it together. So, is Destiny 2 worth starting as a new player?
It depends.
On?
It depends because it's very overwhelming at the start, especially once you start unlocking everything. Because then you're like, oh, there's like 100 places I could go. Oh, there's like all these guns I have in my inventory. What do I do with them? So, while a lot of people definitely enjoy figuring that aspect out, I feel like a majority of people getting into the game this late, they're not going to be as interested in figuring that stuff out.
and rushing past.
You're not supposed to mention it. I'm just supposed to be trying to interrupt the interview.
So, getting into Destiny 2 now, I feel you almost need someone who has experience with the game to help guide you, to make sure you understand the methodology behind how it works.
Okay.
Also, just having friends helps.
Yeah. And your thoughts? Closing thoughts.
He likes guns. I think that's his closing statement.
Yeah. Which makes density a bit of an interesting thing, really, because like, yeah, Bungie really decided to just go with like, we'll just have one set of animations for every single weapon class, and it'll be fine. And I don't like that personally, just because like it really eliminates a lot of the potential for each individual weapon to have character. And I mean, they're trying to make up with that at some point. Is there an inspect animation for these, by the way?
No, not that I know of.
Yikes. That's unfortunate because, I don't know, I feel like seeing... Oh, hey, I can move that pot around. I can, But, yeah, no. So I'd say... Oh, hey, I can do something like that. You get a hammer, you get a hammer, and you get a hammer. Oh, where did my hammer go? Oh, there. You get a hammer.
So for all the guns in the game, his favorite is the hammer.
Well, the hammer is an enjoyable game mechanic, I will say, just because like it's such instantaneous cooldown. The instantaneous cooldown, which is very refreshing, as opposed to like this grenade, or like now I'm gonna have to wait 5 years for that grenade to come back, basically. Still, and yeah, I would say I would agree with Corbin. It's absolutely impossible for somebody to get into this game and like really pick up on a lot of things right off the bat. And I feel like for some people, if they're just because like there's an absurd amount of things happening all at once, and I still don't even understand half of it or how any of it works, which is a bit of a problem.
So, Destiny 2, while fun, is best with friends, and it's even better when you've got a friend who can help show you the ropes. I hope you've enjoyed and learned a lot more.